Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFUN Formula 3 series here at Bathurst. It is a wonderful afternoon here, I believe sunrise or sunset. It's a wonderful day here in Australia for some Formula 3 action here at Bathurst. It is going to be an amazing day. I am Austin Knight. I am joined by Seb Bosher-Williams with Sean Cranleigh-Swash in the production booth, and you're here live watching Total Sim Sport.
Good evening and welcome to Bathurst once again. We have been here many a time in Formula 3 and today with the iGPFUN League in Austin. What can we say about Bathurst? It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? It's such a good track for racing, and I think if we see a somewhat clean race, it will be very clean for Bathurst standards.
It certainly will be. A lot of things could definitely happen around here, and you know, I've seen a lot of action around Bathurst in this league. Actually, this has been one of the fairly cleaner rounds. I've realized what I'm just saying just cursed everybody, and they're going to be very mad at me. But you know, we haven't seen the massive crashes that we usually see in the iRacing official sessions or in iRacing League sessions that features the F3 official calendar. Because we've all seen those unfortunate clips of people getting into massive 10+ pileups here going up the mountain. Because it's so easy to do. One car spins, and it's whenever you're in the mountain, it's such a blind corner. It's so easily to get into a little bit of contact with them.
It certainly is, and yes, I think we should stay away from cursing people. We spent most of last weekend at Monza doing that to disastrous results, so we're trying to stay away from that.
Not on purpose.
We're not on purpose, but we're going to stay clear.
We are good people. We are good commentators.
Well, that's what I like to think. Yes, Monza wasn't great for the old curses, so hopefully Bathurst will be a little bit better. I do love this uphill section. Bathurst is one of my favourite tracks, and I just watching these Formula 3 cars go around. But it's interesting you mentioned that it's been cleaner here, because you have to put so much practice into one of these races. It's not like Monza where you can kind of turn up and you kind of already know all the corners and all the nuances with a few laps. Here you have to really work at it to get a clean, consistent stint in. So it kind of makes sense that drivers are cleaner. Oh, is Luca Varani there? Kind of disproves my points, and I think touches the barrier a little bit into the dipper.
Yeah, heading into the dipper is one of the most chaotic spots. We see cars lock up a lot heading into there, and it's very easy to lock up and just carry on into that corner, and that's where most of the incidents heading down out of the dipper and into the chase, that's where we're going to be seeing them, and that's going to be a big talking point throughout the day. Cars in trying to keep pace through there as our qualifying timer is about to head out. Aaron Smith on provisional pole right now with that time of 156.8, well, 0.797, and that is 2/10 clear of Lucas Maruk right behind him.
It is actually, I mentioned that Luca Varani hit the wall. He's just improved to 6th place, so he sets his final lap time of a 1:57.1. Great lap time, and yes, I think Aaron Smith will be very keen to tell you that it is a 56.797. Those 3,000s really mean a lot to a driver, especially when you cross the threshold of to go from a 58.8 or 56.8 even to a 56.7. And here is Vinny Morone going down the mountain section now. Can he improve? Still a few drivers out there who can improve. It was indeed, how much oversteer the number 150 car has got at the moment, and it just goes to show how difficult it is to drive around this track. Interestingly, for the drivers, track temp very low, 26 degrees Celsius, so pretty chilly.
Maruk snipes pole with a 156.504 at the end of qualifying on this final lap to take pole position right there.
Aaron Smith, you had it. He was sort of the leader for the whole session, and Maruk just at the end. Great lap from Lucas Maruk, as you just see him crossing the line, stops just after it as it goes, I think I've done my job, and you have certainly done that. And that, quite a convincing margin, almost 3/10, Austin. That's huge.
That is clutch mode right there for Lucas Maruk to take that pole that dominantly ahead of Aaron Smith. It in the lap that counted, when the time is run out, pretty much. This is Vincenzo Vinny Monroe Going on for another lap right now. Time is up right now, so this lap will not count for him. So he's just logging laps up some more to get some practice in there. Last car on track, I think you is we are waiting on, or you're just waiting on iRacing, is Leonardo Ocheri out there right now. He's heading through the mountain section, so I believe he might have just started his lap as the time went out. You see him getting very loose, big lockup, and I don't think this is going to be a improvement on his lap.
I certainly don't think he is. He's pulling over. Forrest Albo didn't claim another victim, didn't hit the wall, but certainly not get through there cleanly. And we're just waiting on Vinny Morone, who is out. And as you said, that lap will not count. But what can Aaron Smith do? I've just written down on my notepad in big letters, the race is on. It certainly is. Maruk versus Smith. Maybe Will McIntyre there in third can prove more of a challenge. And actually, do we have two drivers on the same lap time? No, we don't. I think my timing software is going a little bit awry there.
No. I actually know we do. Rodrigo Duran. No, wait. Yeah. Timo Braun and Rodrigo Duran are extremely close. They might be separated by a thousandth of a second. We're going to find out right now, as here is our starting grid. Lucas Maruk is starting up on pole with Aaron Smith right beside him, followed by Will McIntyre, Leonardo Ocheri, Andy Flint, Luca Verani, Antonio Tellez, Evan Way, Timo Braun, and Rodrigo Duran. They are separated by 3,000 of a second, followed by Clark Williams, Adam Talsma, Stuart Millen, Marcelo Kessler, Philip Lucas, Sonny Rosario, Massimo De Laurentiis, Kuchi Aito, Robert Ridgway, Andrea Bacchetti, Richard Van Veen, Reed Dennison, 24th. Behind him is Jeffrey Brewer, Rafael Munzer, Patrick Rollins, Chuck Morrow, Keelan, and Nolan. Richie Robertsons are starting in the same row, followed by Darren Rollinson, Matthew Brewer, Matthew Gracie, Simone Fessy, Alistair Hay, and Nico Veltman in 36, with Paul Happ at the end of our 37-car grid here at Bathurst.
37 cars all about to tackle Mount Panorama. It's going to be such a great race. Everybody's got to be careful with their starts. Got to get a good start. It's all about being clean in this league. Of course, no real overtaking maneuvers into turn one as per the rules. And they are all around the corner. That's how big this grid is. And that's going to really compromise those people, especially those on the apex of the corner. They're going to have a super difficult start, aren't they, Austin?
They are, and the people who are getting off the line right here, they have to be very cautious on how they release that clutch, especially if you're starting right on the apex of that corner, because you're gonna have to start at a turning angle. And when you release the clutch in these cars and you're turning, well, that's the easy recipe to be making some donuts. And we aren't here. It's not happy hour at the donut shop right now. You want to do that after the race, particularly when you win. And then
certainly.
The track temps, yeah, it's a good day out here.
It certainly is. 25 degrees air temp, 26 degrees track temp, and it's only going to get cooler as you just see the track time. The race time there is... Wow, that is actually really impactful for the cars. It's going to make the cars really difficult to drive. Watch out for that.
Going northeast, I believe. And that will be providing a tailwind heading into Griffiths Bend as we are green here at Bathurst for the iGPFUN Formula 3 Series here at Bathurst. And it's a good start by Aaron Smith already on the gearbox of Lucas Maruk. You can see everybody use that low downforce setup to maximize the speed on the straightaways. So it's going to be a lot of wiggling throughout the mountain by these guys, but they're maximizing their top end speed because they do not want to be a sitting duck out here. Top four in their own little group. Then it's a fight for fifth place right behind it. Luca Ferrani and and Andy Flint going side by side right behind him, but right ahead of him, Lucas Maruk holding off Aaron Smith. Right now, Smith on the tail of Maruk as everybody's just filing into their spots. They definitely do not want to be making a overly charged first lap around here and might risk a incident. And we've all seen those unfortunate moments. 24 laps on the schedule here today as they go up into Skyline. It's a wall tap by Will McIntyre in third place.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that, certainly with 24 laps to go. Really got to preserve these cars around this track. As down the field, Vinny Morone is up one position. Rodrigo Duran losing a position to Vincenzo early on in this lap. There's a few movers and shakers.
Has 2 spots gained.
He does indeed. And Simon Fessy, 3 places. So real movers and shakers on the grid so far.
Yeah, we already have a few people moving up in spots. Simone Fessy definitely had a great start out of there. We saw him, he was actually one of the starters. He was starting at the back of the curb So I feel like he might have took advantage of some people that were at the curb and just had a better momentum launch into turn 1 Hell's Corner. And heading into Griffin's Bend, as we were looking at Will McIntyre, we saw him tap the wall at Skyline up there. Car looks absolutely fine, so he's able to keep on going. We got a nice 3-car fight for the lead. Well, 3-car fight for second place as Lucas Maruk is pulled away from the lead. He's already got 1.9 seconds on Aaron Smith in second place.
Certainly has. Crucial for Lucas up in the lead. He really has to break that slipstream, and he has done it. And to sort of add to that list, Smith and McIntyre and O'Cherry all fighting over the track position. Talking of fighting over track position, here is Rowlands and Fessy into Hell Corner. Nothing can be done.
Fessy had to get onto the binders a lot. We got a car off up ahead. That's Chuck Morrow. As everyone's diving down to the opposite side of the track, Chuck just went a little bit wide, and he's going to have to, pull back in, as here comes some of Fessy on the back on Patrick Rowlands. Fessy almost got in onto the back end of Patrick Rowlands when he got onto the right into his brakes. So swings back ahead, and it's Fessy back ahead of Rowlands. There's a big lockup up ahead. There was a lot of smoke on the track, so I'm not sure what has been the cause of that, but everything seems to be clear up ahead. Up the track, this is Sonny Rosario defending from Massimiliano De Laurentiis in the fight for 19th, and that is a very risky, gutsy look down to the inside for De Laurentiis.
Certainly is, and Patrick Rowlands is in the wool. He is back to the pits, so something's happened to him. Alistair Hay, Paul Happ, and Nico Veltman also in the pits. So something, I think those three, Alistair Hay, Paul Happ, and Nico Veltman, did not take the start. So I don't know what's going on there. As we see, oh, that's a big lockup for Lauer. He had a big moment into turn 2, Quarry Bend, and his laps certainly did not get better as he exited the mountain section.
As is Kessler looking down to the inside, heading up the chase on, that's Stuart Millen on the outside. Kessler had to back off right there. And now we're looking at Philip Lucas on the back, Marcelo Kessler, who's on the back of Stuart Millen. This is a nice 3-car train. Kessler looking down to the inside. Or is he going to get very gutsy around here? No, he's not. Up ahead, though, we are getting some action for 13th, Adam Talsma on Clark Williams.
Indeed, and I've just seen Alistair Hay connection drop due to packet loss. So he has had some form of internet issue, and Richard Van Veen is in the pit. So disaster for him as well. Not been a great start. And let's have a look at Timo Braun for 2S Esports down the mountain straight towards Quarry Bend. That's an overtake done right there.
Yeah, Rodrigo Duran on Timo Braun right there. The 64 able to just have that speed coming out of Hell's Corner, and there is nothing Timo could deal with that. He could have defended a little bit more aggressively, but it's only lap 3 out of 24, and I'm pretty sure all these drivers want to make it to the end of this race and not have an incident heading into Griffin's Bend. We got another fight here. Philip Lucas. Back with Philip Lucas chasing down Kessler.
Is in DD, and just start to get a sense as we ride on board of how tricky it is to follow these cars through the mountain section. These are downforce cars. I say it every week, but it's true. They are downforce cars. They do get affected by dirty air. You hear it all about if you're a Formula 1 fan. It's hard to follow these cars, especially at high speed. Philip Lucas doing an excellent job as we head down the dipper towards Forest Elbow now, just easing the car through.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say these are downforce cars, because all these drivers are using the low downforce configuration to maximize the speed off the straights, because if they're using the medium downforce, they're losing it about a combined 1 second from the exit of Forest Elbow onto the entry of Griffin's Bend. On the straightaways, they're losing about a second to all the low downforce drivers, so that's why everybody is running these low downforce cars. I think some people in the back of the field might be running a medium downforce just to give them a little bit sense of a safety net right there, but they are not going to be in contention for the win.
Very interesting, actually, to hear the stats. Yeah, it does seem like, especially everybody in the top 10, actually most people are running the low downforce configurations. You can see that by just how thin those rear wings are. You can barely see them, which indicates how thin they are. I see one car in the background with a little bit of a thicker rear wing. So yes,
I believe that would be Kuchiaido, maybe. I'm not sure. As this is Kessler under pressure by Lucas. Lucas, who saw him get all the way up to the gearbox, And right around the outside, Philip Lucas takes 15th place. As actually, that car with the medium downforce is the number 4 of Massimiliano De Laurentiis. Laurentiis looking down to the inside right here. You can see him really pressuring. This is a spot where Laurentiis is going to have all the speed compared to everybody else. He definitely has the car control. Let's run on board of Massimiliano De Laurentiis as he is pressuring Sonny Rosario up ahead.
Is indeed, as we head through the high-speed left-hander. Just see how much more grip he has. He's almost pulled to the inside. He thinks about it. He just backs off as we head towards Skyline Corner. Now we're going the scary downhill. Laurentiis is going to have so much more pace, so much more confidence down this hill.
Look how late he's taking to slow down that car. He knows he can slow down this car extremely late compared to everybody else. They're going to have to be gradual. So Laurentiis is able to just really send one down the inside. You see a lockup by Rosario right there. But now this is where Laurentiis, he has to get into the draft and stay with them as that low downforce car already pulling away from his higher downforce machine. But he's going to be managing his tires much better than these low downforce cars. So at the end of this race, I'm going to have to say we might see Laurentiis pull up higher up the field with those better tires because he's not leaning on them as much as everybody else with these lower downforce cars.
I think that's a real possibility. So stick around to the end of the race. Certainly is. It's almost like alternate tyre strategies we see in F2. You pick the harder compound, you sacrifice your pace at the start of the race to gain at the end, and I think...
Well, I've just cursed Laurentiis. He's fallen down the field.
Oh no. Oh, he's down 9 spots. He's almost in 30th position as Chuck Mororo also comes into the pits.
No, this is Laurentiis. Teammates right behind him, and this is the final corner, and too much mustard leaning on that downforce, and well,
he had grip, but not that much grip.
He had the most grip out of anybody in the field, but a little bit too much mustard right there.
Disaster, just as we were thinking. I just was getting excited that we might have some strategy. He is down in 28th place, 30 seconds off the race lead, so not disastrous for him, but certainly not a good start to his Bathurst campaign. On board with Evan Way, the number 92 Canadian, as we just have a look at this train forming behind him. A little bit of a lockup down the mountain, and that's going to hurt your tyres. You really have to think about tyre management. 24 laps of this track. It's long, it's difficult, and you're going to need as much grip as you can muster at the end of the race. It's so difficult, especially with how challenging this track is. It's so mentally draining, especially in a car as quick as the F3s. You're going to want as much grip as you have at the end, just to keep you alive if you have a momentary lapse in concentration.
Yeah, it is. You definitely need to be keeping these cars alive and these tires alive, because this is longer than the iRacing official series. As we are side by side heading into the chase, this is Stuart Millen defending from Adam Talsma. Talsma had a look right there, but now Talsma is going to have to defend from Philip Lucas, who carried his way through the chase and got back ahead of Adam Talsma. Talsma still onto the inside. He could go for a move right there. Thought about it. You see Philip Lucas back end getting all sorts of swirly right there, but Philip Lucas able to sneak past Adam Talsma for that 14th spot. Great
job by Philip Lucas in this race so far. 6 laps in, and he's made up 3 positions from his starting spot. Great job by him, and target next is Stuart Milne. Have a look at Vinny Morone, side by side with the number 84 car. That's Rodrigo Duran, still side by side.
Oh. Well, you can hold it around the outside right there, but that was a wide line by Duran, and he forced Vinny to give him that spot. And Vinny, after a fantastic race in Monza last week, getting onto the podium in front of his, at his home country's race, showing himself in the top 10 right now. Very good season so far by Vinny.
Certainly is, and it's still a good season from him so far. Doing a great job here, and honestly, anybody that survived and is sort of in the top 10 is really in with the shout with the race today, as he gets all sorts of squirrely at the top of Skyline, just showing how much they are pushing and how much lock he's willing to throw into the car as they head down the dipper. Just incredible amount of performance. Is just having a look at the top 3. Lucas Marek is kind of in a league of his own. Actually, he was, but for the first time this race, Aaron Smith was actually quicker than Marek on the last lap. Only by
It's just
2/10, man.
It's just by 2/10, and Will McIntyre in third is putting in the exact same lap times as Lucas Baruch. So the top three is kind of stagnated, actually. But you know, sometimes you have to stagnate. Look at how you're taking this race before you really need to push it right now. But I think Baruch is just answering what we were saying with putting in the new fastest lap of the race of a 153.8, 157.83. If he was doing a 153. He'd be sending the world on fire for world record.
He would be, but he is the first man on the grid into the 57s, and quite convincingly so as well. And that's certainly going to put a little bit of a damper on Aaron Smith's advance towards the lead of the race as we have a look at Adam Talsma once again, the number 7 car. And look who that is. That's Philip Lucas on Stuart Milne as we head down towards Quarry Bend, who's going to come out on top.
Great shot of this. Talsma, oh, Lucas has to back off right there, right in front of Adam Talsma. Talsma with great awareness, getting onto the brakes. Lucas, that was smart by Lucas, getting back into the draft of Millen right there and covering off Adam Talsma, because Lucas was able to go through Talsma because he left that space there when he backed off, and Lucas was able to do that. So when Lucas backed off, he went right behind Millen right there to cover off any chance for Adam Talsma, for a chance at Adam Talsma sneaking past Lucas right there. That's smart racing.
It really is, and it just goes to show how switched on these drivers have to be at every moment of the race. As soon as they can't make an overtaken move, they have to immediately go on the defensive. But I mean, Lucas doing a great job, as he has done throughout the season. A little bit of a lockup there from Talsma as we head through Forest Albo down towards down on the Conrod, straight even, and it's all even at the moment. Can Lucas get the slipstream on Stuart Milne as we head towards the chase? Let's see what's going to happen. This is Rodrigo Duran chasing down Tony Jimenez.
Yeah, Tony Jimenez up ahead, or Antonio Tellez, but he has in recent seasons told us that he's first to go by Tony. Up ahead of Rodrigo Duran. Duran kind of under pressure by Vinny right behind. Vinny, last time by, put a purple sector in sector 2. And Vinny and Duran are both faster than Tony up ahead, so this might turn into a 3-car fight very soon for 8th place.
It will, and didn't help there that Tony ran very wide into Hell Corner, turn 1, kicked up the dust, and that's going to hurt his straight line speed all down the mountain straight into Quarry Bend. I mean, you know, it's clearly straight line speed is so important at this track. Everybody, or almost everybody's running super low downforce configurations, so just getting on the grass, losing a few Ks of exit speed can lose so much time down the straight. So yeah, you really, really don't want to be doing that. But yes, this gap, watch out for that on the timing tower, as McIntyre and O'Cherry getting very close. Head down the hill section once again. We haven't really seen too much action in the hill section, and it's good. Everybody's been, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to say it. It's been kind of clean so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty clean. I've been really enjoying this fight that we're seeing right now. And this race, we've only just been seeing single car incidents, cars making a little small mistake here and there. But it's okay, this is turning into a massive curse if I continue on. But it's good. It's been good.
It's been a good race. Will McIntyre wide.
And that is O'Cherry getting past McIntyre after that small mistake right there. McIntyre dipping a wheel in grass, and that's allowed O'Cherry to take 3rd place from McIntyre. But I can guarantee you McIntyre is going to be back on the gearbox of Leonardo O'Cherry. But O'Cherry definitely has the pace to keep ahead of McIntyre, as they are going to be on a charge. Nearly identical lap times with their best lap time. So McIntyre and O'Cherry, this is going to be a fight we're going to be seeing throughout the day in this fight for 3rd place.
I think McIntyre is struggling. His last lap was a 2-minute flat, and yes, we
Well,
saw
that
his
was that
mistake at the
mistake.
chase, but I think he lost more time than that, because I don't think that's sort of a 1.3 second mistake. I think, well, McIntyre made another mistake on that lap. Oh, Lucas is dropping down the field. Oh, no, he's
Lucas
back up again.
Millen. Lucas is in the fight with Millen right there at 13th place. We're going to get a replay of that incident right now. Actually, we're going to jump to that right now. As you can see, Stuart Millen under pressure. And here's what happened. Philip Lucas goes down to the inside. Side by side they go, heading into Griffin's Bend. And, oh, just a late move on the brakes around the outside. Lucas had to hold that down to the inside right there. And they were so close that they were dancing on the timing tower and definitely dancing with each other on the track.
Certainly were. I do apologise for any Philip Lucas fans out there that I gave a little bit of a scare to. He's all good and doing great moves out there. And this is the battle between...
Just a few raised heart rates.
I'm sorry. Just so, yeah, battle between Tony, Rodrigo Duran, and Vinny Morone really heating up now. It's a three-way battle as we head to the chase once more through this flat-out kink. Does Rodrigo Duran feel like going side by side? He certainly does feel like going side by side as they head into the braking zone, and I do believe that is Rodrigo Duran's position. Yes, it is. Great move. And Vinny Morone looking like he wants that position. That 9th place from Tony Jimenez right now.
Yeah, Tony. Oh, Tony wasn't attacking or defending right there. Vinny had a big look right there as in the background. Oh, well, there is definitely an incident for Philip Lucas right there as Marcel Kessler and Philip Lucas, I think, might have got into each other at the chase in the background as we have that as everything up ahead. Yeah, there's a big gap to everybody that used to be
Lucas
right there. So, yeah, this is what happened to Kessler and Lucas. There's Lucas on the inside heading into chase, and that is
so that's Stuart Mill.
Gets onto the grass, and I think revs it up, flicks it around, and this is where we're going to see Kessler enter the picture.
Nope.
Yeah, Kessler went off on his own accord.
And he's just
okay, Kessler. It was they were around the same area, but uninvolved with each other.
Yeah, they both just sort of... I think you could almost say that Kessler had a sympathy spin.
Ooh, Vinny! Off in Skyline!
He's going to keep that out of the barriers if he holds the brakes, which he does. Just needs to make sure he rejoins safely.
Now he has to keep it out of the other cars right there. The Wave Italy car is kind of just beached on his own in the sand. Luckily, it's not beached literally here in iRacing, and he's able to keep that going as he exits Skyline. Vinny was running in the top 10, falls down to 17th, but luckily he lives to fight another day.
Does indeed. McPhillamy Park, seen many incidents there in real racing. Vinny Morone fell victim to that super tricky corner. This is your third place man, Leonardo Do Cherry, doing a great job so far. Sorry, Leonard O'Cherry. We'll get the names right one day. Through the final corner of Murray's down the straight. And who has set the fastest lap of the race? It's Aaron Smith, a 1:57.7. And that is about 0.5 quicker than Lucas Morak. But that gap almost 5 seconds, or 4.62 to be precise.
Yeah,
so,
Aaron Smith, he started to close down on Lucas Maruk. That race, the gap at the start of this race was about 2.4 seconds. It's now to 1.4 for Aaron Smith. And I feel like Maruk and Smith are going to be having this teetering battle as we're closing in on halfway through this race here at Bathurst. And when we get into the last quarter of this race, that's where we're really going to be seeing who's been managing these tires better out of the top two.
Yeah, really interesting to see. Has Maruk overcooked his tires? Yes, he is only 1.4 seconds behind. My timing tower is saying he's 5 seconds, but Smith a lot closer. And we have a look at Andy Flint, the number 13 car, heading down towards Skyline. This great drone shot goes to show how much elevation change is in this track. It's why all the drivers love it, and it's why it's still crazy to me that this is a real racetrack. It always feels like it should be sim racing exclusive, but it always brings a smile to my face when we see any form of racing around here. Flint looking at getting past Will McIntyre. Evan Way just behind him, want in on this fight too. Are we going to see some more drama down to the chase?
They're definitely closing in on each other. Andy Flint of Scuderia Dagda as he goes down to the inside. Andy Flint with a big push down to the inside, forces Will McIntyre to just sniff the grass right there. Flint gets onto the brakes, and Andy Flint up into 4th place, and now he's going to chase down Leonard O'Sherry as Evan Way on McIntyre. Way looks onto the outside, McIntyre defending onto the inside. They're going to go side by side into the final corner, but it's going to be McIntyre defending himself and staying up into 5th place, but Way is not having any of that. He's still on the attack as they enter Hell's Corner, and right behind him is the 2-2-2 of Luca Verani.
What has happened to Will McIntyre? He was 3rd place at the start, and he has just had no pace. Evan Way making his way past Will McIntyre down the mountain straight into Quarry Bend. And yeah, what has happened to Will McIntyre's pace? He had rapid pace at the start, and he's just not being able to hang on to that. And you're right, Luca Verani looking very quick behind him. And if he gets up into 6th place, he'll be right back to where he started. It means he can only go one way, and that way is forwards. But yeah,
he can easily overheat the tires through Skyline. He might have had a bit of a wiggle. We saw that with Leonardo Cherry, and that wiggle, he was able, well, he unfortunately couldn't save it. And Aaron Smith had a big off right there. His name went red, but it was just a mild off because his time didn't really change. Well, now it's changing a lot. We might get a look at what happened to Aaron Smith, but it doesn't seem to be causing a issue, as there's just stuff happening all around. Cars have gone into the pits. Clark Williams has apparently had a issue, as Tellez and Westman are having a fight for 10th place.
Duran and Westman in the pit, they've just towed. What drama? What?
Well, it was a deadly fight, it turns like, and the Tellez is the Tony Jimenez and Stuart Millen looks to be the victors of this fight. This is the all track for Aaron Smith at Skyline. Oh boy, oh man, that's going to be able. That is able to be saved right there. And this is going to be the off track of Duran right here, and this is at the dipper. It goes off the track at the dipper, and oh no, we're going to be rejoined right into each other, and that is totally. And there's a 3rd car getting involved right there. That is Westman. That was Westman who got caught out right there. So completely innocent party. Just had to get onto the blinders. That could definitely change a race of the field as cars heading into the pits. We got 4 cars in the pits right now. Robert Ridgway, Rodrigo Duran, Nicholas Westman, and Clark Williams in the pits. Some of them are back out on track. Some of them are just getting stuff repaired. Some of them are serving a towing penalty. But so far, pretty clean race. 22 cars have not gone into the pits out of the 37 that were registered for this race. The 35 cars that started this race. So that's about 11 cars have gone into the pit lane.
Yeah, I thought it was our first sort of like Bathurst accident where
yeah, that was our first Bathurst accident, honestly.
Yeah, no, that was good, and there was no real contact. Everybody got on the brakes well, and unlucky for Westman, he had to, as you said, just put on too much braking force and block the rears, and around you went really. So not much he could do, and yeah, you got to feel bad for Westman and Rodrigo Duran. He was having a great race. He is not out on the track at the moment, but you're right, he's serving that towing penalty, and I think we'll see him out again. But this is Luca Verani now. He wants that position from Will McIntyre. The gap has just been closing down. And also, I was expecting Aaron Smith to have sort of a similar moment to Rodrigo Duran, as we saw him go wide at McPhillamy Park just before Skyline, because the tyres are going to be so hot, they're going to have grass on them, you're going to have so little grip. But Aaron Smith managed to keep it all under control, and I think Reed Dennis is just headed into the pits. So we are having a little bit of an attrition at the moment with 10 laps to go in this race, as Maruk just sets a new fastest lap, a 1:57.5. We'll see what Reed Dennis's accident was in a minute. Oh, and I think De Laurentiis has also had another incident, and he is back in the pits. I think this is his 3rd incident of the race, and this is your race leader, Lucas Marek, Digital Apex, the number 19 car, the Canadian, doing a great job. And there is his contenders of Smith right behind him. Aaron Smith was 0.3 slower on that last lap. We saw Aaron Smith make a mistake just 2 laps to go. So what can Aaron Smith respond? Can he respond to the fastest lap? Leonardo O'Cherry, unfortunately for him, just a little far back from this fight, around 5 seconds. And who is that?
That is not Leonardo O'Cherry. That is Nicholas Westman. That was a lap car, I believe. Yeah, that is a lap car following Aaron Smith. This is O'Cherry in 3rd place, just 5 seconds behind Aaron Smith, but kind of in his own right now. He's got a one. I was going to say 1 second, but Andy Flint right behind him has just crashed and towed in Skyline.
Another victim of lap 14. Is that 3 cars that have crashed so far on this lap? Let's have a look at the replay. Down through Skyline, hitched too much curb.
It's identical. Oh, that incident, which is also identical of a Bathurst 1000 incident at that moment at night. I believe it was the Ferrari driven by Philip Schechter, or it was a Philip. I know that, but it pretty much identical crash right there. Spun around too much into the dip right there and into the wall. Unfortunate incident for Andy Flint.
He was having such a good race. Everybody, yeah, I'm starting to think, do we have some tyres that are starting to degrade a little bit, especially for the drivers that push just that little bit extra in the first half of this race? We've got 9 laps to go, and here is Simon Fessy. He is up a staggering 18 positions from where he started. Great race from Simon Fessy. 6 places and he'll be in the top 10, and with the way this race is going so far, who knows what could happen. As up ahead, once again, Lucas Marek. Just to give an update on the fight, he did another 57.5, and Aaron Smith could only respond with a 57.8. So Lucas Marek looking just a little bit quicker at the moment in the lead.
Yeah, Marek and Smith are definitely keeping pace with each other, but after that little incident by Aaron Smith at Skyline, I think that scared him just a little bit to back off just a little bit and don't push that hard at the top of this track, because he doesn't want to snap away his chances. They started in this order and they stayed in this order, so we can definitely see on how that is going to be affecting them as we are currently watching this fight between Simon Fessy and Simon Fessy chasing down Rafael Munzer. Is it me or yeah? Munzer is running a higher downforce swing than Simon Fessy.
He is not drastically, not like we saw, I think it was Laurentiis, but yeah, certainly more angle, which means more downforce, which means more grip through the corners, right there. But certainly slower in a straight line. Good spot there, Austin. So, as we said, Laurentiis did retire 2 laps ago, so this race really claiming a few victims. And Alistair Hay, who, let me remind you, didn't take the start. His internet disconnected. He started technically 35th. He's currently 25th, so up 10 positions, and sort of just trundling around at the back of the grid, but certainly better than sort of not being out there at all. So great job for Alistair Hay to just sort of get back out there and just continue to lap.
Fessy went deep right there, almost having a grand old meeting with that wall on the outside. He was about to add a little bit of black paint. Unfortunately, it would not be actual black paint, but we all know what we're talking about to add a little Bathurst stamp to that outside wall, and might annoy the track workers right there. Fessy in the chase, just cuts right ahead, says thank you very much. And that's the pace between the medium downforce and the low downforce. And Rafael Munzer's last lap was his personal best of 159.83. The time that everybody else on is averaging around the 158s. Right there, that just shows you the pace between the low downforce and the medium downforce runners. But Munzer is definitely more comfortable with the medium downforce, and he's very happy with a top 20 position right now.
I think certainly is. I think we do have a case of some
drivers
drivers
up
playing
10 spots too.
He is up 10 spots, and yeah, as we said, Simon Fessy up 19 now. This is Timo Braun being chased down by Tony Jimenez. Jimenez down 1 position. Where is he?
Oh, that's a lot of damage. The front left wheel is off. Well, they're all off now. And Tellis toes into the pit lane. This is just caught the curb at Skyline, hit the wall, and the
So
iRacing
unlucky.
gods when we rejoin the shot. Yeah, look at that front left tire. It just ain't responding right there, and he's gonna have to take his hands off the wheel right there because everything's gonna go off right there, and that's gonna really not be good for Tony Jimenez, Antonio Tellis at the top of Skyline. Big crash right there, an unfortunate end to his race. On the closing laps of this race with just 6 laps remaining. No, 8 laps remaining.
Maths are really quick. It's definitely really hard. As look, he's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's Evan Way with a 1:57.44. And yeah, that was that crash by Tony was very, very reminiscent of a certain Formula 1 crash that happened earlier today. But I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't quite caught the replay yet. But yeah, so unlucky with how the curb sort of spat him out into the wall. And hard, especially with only 8 laps to go. You survive most of the race, but this is when it starts to get hard. This is when the tyres start to go off. You start to feel tired. You maybe start to catch other drivers around you or start to back off, and you try and push yourself a little bit more. And this is the crucial place where mistakes are going to start to happen.
Actually, I wouldn't compare that to Formula 1 crash. I'm comparing it more to a Long Beach IndyCar crash where, you know, one of the drivers in practice cooked the wall, broke the wheel off the rod, and they just went screaming into the barriers right there. And that happened. That's actually been a staple of Long Beach type incidents right there. That incident you're talking about, Formula 1, was a completely different start to it, but I totally understand what you're bringing up. I'm not salty in any way.
None of us are whatsoever, including the driver. So everything kind of settled down on the track so far, which is why we've started to devolve into talking about IndyCar and Formula 1. Lucas Morak, your race leader, the number 19 driver from Canada, doing a great job. And what I am liking at the moment is as the light goes down, we can start. I mean, I know it's virtual, but you can see into the driver's helmet, and it reminds me of those really cool shots that you get at like night races at like Singapore, for example. Sort of looks really, really cool.
Yeah, we've entered nighttime. The instantaneous swap of visors here in iRacing. Nighttime visors, snap on. You can immediately see it through them. New fastest lap by Evan Way, because now we can see into these drivers' eyes. And I remember me and my buddy Marco, we made a camera whenever this happened. You get to see into those eyes of conscious, those eyes of focus right there. They don't change at all, and it's kind of disturbing to look at. And that's why we made it we made it an actual camera. We just hid it into a camera pack.
That would be great. So yeah, Evan Way once again fastest lap time of 57.3. So as the fuel load comes down, you tend to get quicker, and also probably helping Evan is a little bit of slipstream. Oh, that's very wide from O'Cherry up ahead, almost into the wall on the exit of Solomon Park there. Very, very close.
He is very loose up here. You can see him sliding the car along. You're using all the track as Evan Way is keeping it pretty tight heading into the dipper right now. And Evan Way, 2 laps in a row, puts in the fastest lap. You see Cherry all over the track, back end, wiggling around like a dog at a barbecue as Evan Way lined up on that gearbox and ready to strike right now. They got a little help of a few lap cars up ahead of them. So as they're heading down the chase, this is not going to be good for Evan Way, as they're going to be stuck in a little bit of a draft train, but that lap car defendant going all the way down to the inside is going to be letting them by Evan Way. This is going to be giving him a lot more chances to close up on O'Cherry and make a opportunity for a lunge next time by. Heading into Griffin's Bend, it's not going to be happening into the chase right there, but O'Cherry has really burned up those tires, gets into the grasses a little bit. Here comes Evan Way right now. O'Cherry getting wiggly and wide as Way looking his way down to the inside. Evan Way, O'Cherry goes late onto the brakes, trying to hold it around the outside. Evan Way holds it down tight. There's a car spun up ahead. That's number 42, Aaron Smith. This is now the fight for second. That was Smith in second place. His spins around, and now Evan Way is in second place.
Wow, what an absolute turn up of events. Evan Way was chasing down O'Cherry for third, and Cherry still in third, Way's in second, and Smith is all the way down in 6th place. What disaster for him. He was just starting to catch Morak again, and I think he's going to have a similar issue. O'Cherry's coming back though as we head down into Quarry's Bend. They're side by side. through turn 2. And Way just keeps his position for now. O'Cherry will have to settle for third, at least for the time being.
Oh man, that is Tony Jimenez behind the back marker, but oh, I'm pretty sure Evan Way and O'Cherry weren't even expecting Aaron Smith to be right there. And when they passed this, the intensity of this fight has gone up to 11 because it used to be the fight for third. Now it's the fight for second, and this is how that happened with Aaron Smith. This is just going to be a case of too much mustard into that corner, gets onto the curb, too much curb on the outside, and around you go. And when he was trying to rejoin the track, you're going to be seeing this side-by-side fight just cross his nose. And now he realized, oh crap, those are the guys, they were behind me.
He almost rejoined somebody's way as well. Yeah, I think Aaron Smith really in a rush to sort of get going. I think it's another sign of these tyres starting to degrade a little bit. Varani taking a different line into Forest Albo. He's really trying to get the run on the car ahead. That is Will McIntyre, who is now in 4th place. And yes, I just want to say Simon Fessy now up 20 positions after Tony had his issue.
Luca's got this one made.
Has indeed.
Yeah, Luca's got the speed right there. Cleared him heading into the chase. Luca Ferrani up into 4th. Well, Luca's definitely a fan of more consistency over all-out pace. It is definitely showing right there, keeping these tires alive and keeping them alive for pretty long as they are closing in on 5 laps to go as we just crossed lap 20.
Right.
Started lap 20.
Start of lap 20, 5 laps to go. Still a very long way, especially around here at Bathurst. Luca Varani doing a great job taking all of the track in a little more as he heads through turn 1. This is Evan Way still defending from O'Cherry. This battle is not done. And the car behind him that's overtaking, or being overtaken, sorry, is not 4th position. That's a back marker that's getting a little bit involved in this fight for P2 so far.
Yeah, back markers around here are definitely going to be a problem for some of these drivers, especially when they're in a very close fight, in a very tense situation. Some of them might be using the lapped cars for traffic, but luckily enough that they are not catching these back markers in the mountain right there, or else that would cause a whole heap of trouble. So glad that they are catching up to them on the straights and they are being let by on the straights. So this is going to be as close to the fight as we can get up here. Way and O'Cherry. Evan Way was definitely though on, I would think, on a lockdown right now as Aaron Smith charging onto the back end of Will McIntyre. You see him fighting the wheel right there, just trying to stay on his gearbox as McIntyre looks down to the inside. But here comes Aaron Smith getting that run out of the corner and onto the gearbox of McIntyre, looking for that overtake as they fly down towards the chase.
Aaron Smith has been rapid throughout this stint, so what can he do? Evan Way still under pressure from O'Cherry. O'Cherry to the outside as they head into the chase, side by side.
Way goes deep. Oh, well defended by Way, but here comes O'Cherry off the exit. O'Cherry and Way side by side. And O'Cherry, we've seen on how he can attack on the outside. It doesn't work, but now O'Cherry looking down to the inside. Evan Way cleared him though. New fastest lap by Lucas Marouk up ahead, 10 seconds into the lead. And I think Lucas is just enjoying a nice comfy ride here in Australia. And, you know, like another driver in red did today.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Aaron Smith in the background past Varani and McIntyre. And here's that replay heading down to the chase. We saw at the start of this move, he closed in on McIntyre and he closed it off at the entrance of the chase. And oh, that is deep by Aaron Smith. Varani, I think Varani saw that and his man was like, I need to get out of here. And Aaron Smith, well, it was definitely a risky business move right there, but Aaron Smith back into 4th place. And I'm pretty sure this might turn into a 3-car fight for 2nd place because Aaron Smith, oh, he is steaming mad, Aaron Smith, right now.
He is. I don't think that was so much of an overtake as a sort of a bully. Varani very wisely chose to get out of the way. I think Smith was completely out of control into the chase, but you're right. We could be easily seeing a 3-way battle for 2nd place. Can Smith get back to where he was just a few laps ago before that mistake on board with Luca Varani?
Well, O'Cherry in the background coming out of that tight left-hander and up the mountain got really loose, and he's dropped back a second on Evan Way. So it definitely can happen for Aaron Smith as that battle is kind of dissipated. But you can see the train of back markers up ahead of Aaron Smith and Luca Varani. They're definitely going to be getting in the way of him as Aaron Smith tries to charge back ahead. You see Tony Jimenez getting out of the way, and now he's got another one ahead of him right there.
Varani had, sorry to cut in, he had so much understeer through Forest Alvo. He had to completely get out of the throttle just to prove how much these tyres are going off. We've got 3 laps to go in this race. Anything could happen with tyre wear. And yeah, some cars are really struggling for understeer, and understeer is deadly around here. The walls are so close.
Well, that's a big, thick wing of Andrea Becchetti right there. Becchetti, one of the drivers that we were mentioning that has one of those giant wings. Probably thanking for those wings right now as he is sitting in 11th. And that's a high downforce setup. That's not the medium downforce, that's high downforce.
Yeah, certainly working for him at the moment. Can he steal a top 10 place? I think he can so far.
He's
Your
just slow on the
fastest
streets. His advantage is in the mountains, but on the straightaways, he really can't be making these moves. And he's not really getting that much of a draft of the car ahead of him. That's Sonny Rosario.
He gets better runs out of the corner, though, because he's got more downforce and I think a little bit more tyre grip, so that could pay dividends, but just look at the gap that Rosario is making on the straight. But I think this is falling into Brachetti's hands, as last lap, Aaron Smith set the fastest lap of 1:57 flat. Absolutely incredibly fast by Aaron Smith. He is certainly in contention for that second place. Do not go anywhere for the final 3 laps. There is action up and down the field, and we don't even have enough time to reference any more Formula 1 or IndyCar.
You're saying that, and like it's a challenge. As Stuart Millen in the background has fallen down to Talsma, and that as we gonna hop up the track just a little bit. That's what happened to Stuart Millen. You can see, losing the back end at Skyline. There goes Talsma right there, and I can say for pretty much all these drivers that the tires are in trouble. Bracchetti closing down right there at the entrance. Well, you see his very big gap at the start of the mountain. It is now a very minuscule gap right there. But now advantage goes back to Sonny Rosario. How many times can Sonny Rosario hold on to it? 2 laps to go here at Bathurst as Aaron Smith new fastest lap as he tries to chase down and get onto the podium.
Sorry to cut in there. Just wanted to say that Brachetti is going to have so much more grip under braking. He can do a Daniel Ricciardo-esque move, late braking, sort of pull out and surprise Rosario, because he's just got so much more grip to play with at the moment. He can push pretty much everywhere, and you kind of feel like all of the drivers on low downforce are starting to hang on to their cars and just sort of survive the next 2 laps. Apart from Aaron Smith, who was absolutely flying out there, your first man into the 1 minute 56s with a 1 minute 56.96. And we can see him now, I think, maybe second place.
That's
is a little bit.
That's O'Cherry right there. O'Cherry is that car ahead of him. It's not a lap car. And Aaron Smith, well, he's definitely on a mission right now to chase down O'Cherry as they are heading through Skyline and down the Dipper we go. As Smith and O'Cherry, we've seen him sliding through that corner a lot, and this is where Aaron Smith has been really strong right now. As 2 laps to go, can Aaron Smith get into 3rd place right now, or is he going to have to wait for that last lap? They are separated by 0.6 of a second, exiting down into the chase. And this is going to be one bang-on fight for 3rd place between O'Cherry and Aaron Smith.
It certainly is. And Austin, I was just about to ask you, but I think the question's kind of us. I think Smith is just too far away from Evan Way now, isn't he, for this final lap? He's looking at 3rd place max, unless there's sort of any drama. He just hasn't been able to catch the top 2 quick enough. So he is looking for the bottom step, but at least a step on the podium. Final lap here at Bathurst.
Last lap, all or nothing for Aaron Smith and O'Cherry. Lucas Baruch, 10 seconds in the lead. So far in the lead, I'll give him $50 if he takes the jump.
That's a good bet. I would quite like to see that. Let's hope he's got the stream open as he's running around. I mean, to be honest, he's not had a lot of other things to do this race. He's been pretty unchallenged. Aaron Smith in the slipstream down to the first real overtaking opportunity. Does he take it? No, he sits back. He's going to stalk his prey through the mountain. And if you're O'Cherry, you've got to be pretty worried. This man is absolutely rapid a 1 minute 56.78 on the last lap. He is just in a league of his own in terms of the timing stands. He was 5/10 quicker than the next car. I know Cherry really feeling the pressure.
He is flirting with the walls right now. He got so close right there. Oh, he could have reached out, signed his name on that, definitely. But Aaron Smith, he is hunting him down right now as they enter Skyline. A little bit of a wide entry by O'Cherry. Aaron Smith right onto that gearbox camera right there. And he's just closing up into the dipper right now. This is going to be an all-out brawl as they head down the dip. A little bit of correction by Aaron Smith right there, backing off just a little bit as they are heading down into the forest elbow right now. Aaron Smith, Leonardo O'Cherry, and Cherry's in the wall right ahead of Smith. Smith avoids it out of the way, and Aaron Smith has made it into third place.
Disaster for Cherry. He was pushing so much on that final lap. Now he's really got to watch his mirrors. Virani is coming close, coming a lot closer as we have a look at Brachetti. Still not being able to get past Rosario, but he is getting quicker as there is lots of drama happening on this final lap.
Virani, this could be Virani's chance. And Cherry goes wide for Virani around the outside with no space left. Look at Virani, gets into fourth. And O'Cherry goes wide with McIntyre. McIntyre trying to follow O'Cherry. And O'Cherry, you see it wiggly, trying to carry speed. McIntyre, though, goes a little bit slow. And I think McIntyre's going to try to get O'Cherry off the exit. But I think McIntyre's actually backed out. He saw what happened to O'Cherry. And he's just going to be accept 6 right there. O'Cherry in 5th place. Top 5. Unfortunate ending. Brachetti, last lap opportunity for a top 10 with that higher downforce car. He can break 5,000 times deeper right there. He left the door open by Sonny Rosario. He sends it down to the inside from 10th. Andrea Brachetti, 10th place on the last lap, last corner. There was contact made. He took a little bit of damage right there. Sonny Rosario left the door open thinking that he wasn't crazy enough to try it. Well, you'd never call somebody with the number 3 a little bit crazy, because anybody running the number 3 will definitely lick the stamp and send it.
I said he could make Daniel Ricciardo-esque moves, and he certainly proved that. He was sideways into that braking zone. I for sure thought he was going to end up in the wall, and we'd be, saying how Brachetti almost had a top 10, but no, he absolutely nailed that final corner. Used all that available grip to good use as the rest of the cars come across the line. But I mean, that was enough action in that final lap for an entire race. What a final lap. What a race around here. Let's have a look at the replay once again.
Sorry, just opens the door and the big send by Brachetti.
He was surprised.
He picked up wing damage. He's like, did that just happen? Okay.
I think he was surprised at how early Rosario had to brake for the corner. I think he was thinking, I will make a move, but I think he wasn't expecting Rosario to brake so early and to sort of move a little bit, which has caused Brachetti to sort of steer out of the corner, then had to catch it and still overtook. Incredible move.
Brachetti had that downforce advantage. This is him chasing down Sonny Rosario. Actually, no, this is live images right there. You can see the front right of the car damaged. It's picked up a little bit of damage right there, but I feel like that was a combination of the early brake by Rosario and just the down the inside last chance send it move. And speaking of send it, I think we're gonna have a little bit of jumping practice here.
Let's hope so, as we just wait for the race results to come up, as we see some drivers doing some very well-earned donuts. Of course, in sim racing,
and everything.
Don't have to worry about gearboxes or anything boring like that. You just get to go and wreck your Formula 3 car at the end of every race.
Attack, fires at the back of the car.
Oh man, we said we wouldn't. It's been like 2 minutes.
Samples.
Yeah.
Here's our race results.
Lucas Murrock is your race winner. Once again, great job by him. 25 points to his name. Evan Way in 2nd place with Aaron Smith rounds out your podium. Luca Varani just missed out of the podium in 4th, with Leonardo O'Cherry coming home in 5th after that last lap incident. Will McIntyre is 6th with Timo Braun 7th. Adam Talsma settles for 8th with Stuart Milne after that slide in McPhillamy Park. Comes home in 9th. And Andrea Brachetti, with that incredible move that we've been watching over and over again in the commentary box, comes home for your final points, place in the top 10. 11th goes to Sonny Rosario, just missed out, with Marcelo Kessler in 12th. Kyoto Itora is 13th. Simon Fessy up 20 positions in 14th. Rafael Munzer is 15th with Noel Richie Robinson in 16th position. Jeffrey Brewer is 17th as Killen Richie Robinson is 18th. Andy Flint is 19th after entering the pits only one time. I think Andy Flint had a little bit of a disastrous race after making that mistake. Matthew Gracie is 20th with Tony Jimenez even in 21st. Nicholas Wiseman is 22nd with Robert Ridgway 23rd. Alistair Hay in 24th place with Reed Dennis 25th. Matome De Laurentiis settles for 26th, and 27th is Rodrigo Duran. 28th is Clark Williams with Renzo Vrini Morone in 29th, with Philip Lucas in 30th. Matthew Brewer is 31st, Chuck Moreno 32nd, Darren Rowlinson 33rd, Patrick Rowlands 34th, Richard Van Veen 35th, and Nico Veldman and Paul Happ did not take the start. What a race, Austin, eh?
What a serious race right there, and it was a fantastic day here at Bathurst, and I can't wait for the next round. Absolutely fantastic scenes here seen on Total Sim Sport. I hope everybody had a fantastic day, and thank you so much for all tuning into the iGPFUN Formula 3 Series presented by VRS here from Bathurst. I've been joined by Seb Bosher-Williams with Sean Cranleigh-Swash in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all